All right, we're jumping into the Razorbacks. Okay, last year they go 7-6 straight up, 8-5 against the spread, 3-5 in SEC play. The over went 7-6. So looking at their gambling numbers for 2025, they are 340-1 at FanDuel to win the Natty CFP, I should say. Taylen Green is 150-1 to win the Heisman. The Hogs are 120-1 to win the SEC championship game. Their win total is 5.5, shaded to the under, minus 120. Juice over is minus 102. And we'll go through the schedule here in a few minutes and figure that win total out, whether we like over or under or separately. Although we've been on the same page so far, we both like over for Auburn and Florida and under for Alabama. And those are the teams we've covered the three previous weeks. Okay, their recruiting class per 247 Sports. Well, first off, I assume you don't want to throw a flyer on Taylen Green for Heisman or Arkansas to win the Natty or SEC championship game. Am I assuming correctly?
Well, I mean, if we're going to throw a flyer on a individual prop bet here, my flyer is Sam Pittman is the first national coach fired.
I looked for those odds. They are not out yet, but they'll be out at some point, but it may not be till July or August. But we'll keep an eye out for that. And I think he was maybe the second shortest odds last year behind Napier, who was the favorite. I don't know who ended up winning that, but it was not Napier and Pittman, and they both actually survived. All right, recruiting class for per the 247 Sports Composite, Arkansas is number 32 nationally, number 16 in terms of transfer specific guys, though. They got 31 transfers. Of their freshman incoming guys, 17 are early enrollees. So 55 total commits, combining the freshmen and transfers. 8 4-stars, 46 3-stars, 10 transfers were. Oh, I'm sorry. 10 transfers of the 31 were 4-stars coming out of high school, but they have been downgraded and are only 3-star transfers. So just to give you an idea, some of these guys were more highly valued. They're only 3-star transfers, but they were more highly rated coming out of high school. And so I guess you could kind of say they're looking to revamp their career, if you will. Now, 5 of the transfers are currently 4-stars. Cornerback Julian Neal from Stanford. Wide receiver Omega Blake. Do you have any friends named Omega, Jay?
Well, just my son, Omega Sakotui Greeson. I mean, he was named after an uncle of mine. We love Uncle Omega. I mean, he's a tremendous. He's a humanitarian. Gives of himself, and he married a lady named Alpha. So they're the Omega and the Alpha.
There you go. Also 4-stars among the 4-star transfers. Offensive tackle Corey Robinson from Georgia Tech, tight end Jaden Platt. I'm sorry, from A&M. And offensive tackle Shaq McCrory from Oregon, 6'8", 375, and his name is Shaq. All right, Julian Neal, he played 4 years at Fresno State. He transferred to Stanford, but left Stanford after the spring, I guess with the coaching change to Frank Reich. At Fresno last year, 35 tackles, 5 TFLs, 6 passes broken up, 2 picks. All right, Omega Blake for Charlotte last year, and he spent a couple years at South Carolina previously. In fact, for the Gamecocks in 23, 19 catches, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Last year at Charlotte, 32 receptions, 795 yards, 9 touchdowns, his 24.8 yards per catch average. Led the AAC and was second in the nation. Now, the Platt tight end kid for A&M has played very minimally at A&M. 9 games, 2 catches, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. I'm going to guess he was hurt most of those last 2 years. But tight end wise, major downgrade for Arkansas because they lost Luke Haas, who was the number one player coming out of Arkansas in 2023 and had 2 solid seasons for the Razorbacks, although his freshman year was cut short with a season-ending injury right when he was rounding into form. He's off to Ole Miss. Okay, McCrory, the O tackle from Oregon, coming out of high school, number 4 ranked offensive tackle by ESPN. He played 0 for the Ducks last year. Corey Robinson, the offensive tackle from Georgia Tech, Pro Football Focus had him the number 1 Power 4 offensive lineman in terms of pass blocking grade last year. He started 24 times in 36 games, and per PFF, that's Pro Football Focus, more than 1,600 snaps. All right, I want to mention a couple of other transfers. Running back Mike Washington appears to have won the job coming out of spring. He was at New Mexico State last year, 725 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns. AJ Green, who left Arkansas after 3 years to go to Oklahoma State last year, did not play for the Pokes. I don't know if he got hurt or not, but he's back in Fayetteville. His first stretch over 3 years, 37 games, 953 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry. They got a tight end, Rohan Jones, who's apparently won the tight end job out of Montana State. He played for the FCS national runner-up, 30 catches, 470 yards, and 9 touchdowns. All right. Taylen Green, I thought he was pretty good last year. 60.4 completion percentage, 3,154 yards, 15-9 TDI and T ratio, 602 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, 3.9 yards per carry average. But I'm guessing, before sack subtract on the yardage, I bet he was definitely over 800 yards, maybe over 900. And I think, that's a good start, Taylen Green and Bobby Petrino calling the plays. I don't know about the rest of the roster, but that's a good start right there, Petrino and Green, don't you think?
I do, but I thought it was a great start when we were doing this time last summer, and it was rather blah-tastic. It turned out to be some decent numbers, because I don't disagree with you. The sack numbers coming off, but it's still 3.9 a carry for a guy who's 6'6", 225 and can move. Now, did Petrino fall into the Malzahn trap and he's trying to fit a round peg into his square offense, or vice versa, and not utilize this guy? But at Boise State, he was averaging over his career better than 6 yards a carry. It was less than 4 last year for Taylen Green. And Arkansas throws so many screens, 60% completion percentage is not great.
Right. Yeah, no, he had some bad games. I've got his game log pulled up here. He definitely had some clunkers. He was not much of a factor against Texas. I think he might have got banged up in that game. I think he did. Oh, yeah, we got Bo Jackson snoring, don't we? Now, I thought he played great against Oklahoma State, except for the pick 6 when they were driving in Oak State territory up 14-0, and it reminded me of KJ at Jerry World when they were up 14-0 and he dove to the plane and A&M got a 99-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Oak State got an INT pick 6, and instead of driving to make it 17 or 21-0, it went to 14-7. They eventually lose to Oak State in double OT, but he threw for 416 yards that game, ran for 61, and they had tons of offense, but they lost that game. They also lost 21-17 to A&M and 28-21 to Mizzou, so there's 3 one-possession losses. Let's see how many one-possession wins they had over Tennessee. That's it. So they went 1-3 in one-possession games. Turn that around, but I just don't know about this defense. Any other thoughts, remarks on players before we get into this schedule?
Well, the defensive questions are fair, Brian. And, it's a team that it feels like, and maybe this is a good thing because it doesn't feel like there are a whole bunch of transfers dotting the starting lineup. I mean, you mentioned the running back. The man we know better is Joe the policeman from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama, Mr. Mike Washington. But they've got in their post-spring depth chart, they've got a lot of experience in the front seven defensively. I don't know, but is that something to be happy about? Or is that like the old Louis Grizzard joke, is the good news Vandy returns 15 or 22 starters. The bad news is they all 22 started for Vandy. Sometimes the post-spring depth chart can pull your string a little bit. But man, this is a tough one to gauge for me. Because there is the desperation factor with Sam Pittman. I looked it up. By most accounts, he's only signed through the 2027 season, so his buyout's not unruly like some of these other monster buyouts that folks like. Your boy at FSU's buyout is still $63 million.
Woo, man, Money Mike, love that guy, Money Mike.
The one I saw on Pittman is even with assistance, it's less than 20.
So I saw a quote from Pittman in the last month or so that he hopes, optimistically, he'll finish his contract and just retire. So he's not looking for an extension or anything. He's not getting one anyway. But
right, which also then placates the money bag people who love the glory days of what Petrino brought to Arkansas. That, hey, can we make you a $2 million OC for 2 years and going to give you the keys? But if those keys are 5 and 7 the next 2 years, do we really want him getting behind the wheel of your Uber and running and getting you some quesadillas?
I think they want Rhett Lashley at SMU, but if he's going to the CFP, we'll see how they do this year.
SMU can, pardon this awful pun, they can pony up with just about anybody.
You talking about
there's a whole lot of SMU oil money now. And
do our listeners go back to the 80s? I'm sure there's some.
Yeah, which also allows me the Methodists those football-loving Methodists down there in and around Dallas. It allows me to use one of my favorite Methodist jokes. You know the difference between a Methodist and a Baptist?
No.
The Methodists will say hello to you as they walk into the liquor store.
All right, I'm trying to look up this SMU booster who was their main cheater in that 30 for 30, and I can't find his name anywhere. Doggone it. Anyhow. All right, so let's go to the schedule. Arkansas, they opened with Alabama. A&M will give them a W there. Oh, Butch Jones. Oh, they're playing a game in Little Rock this year. They used to do that every year. I don't feel like they've done it the last year or two, but they do this year. Butch Jones and the Red Wolves. Ark State. We're giving the Razorbacks a W there, correct?
Absolutely. And if they don't get a W to Ark State and Butch bleeping Jones, champions of life, 5-star hearts, Butch bleeping third down or what? Jones, Pittman won't see Halloween.
No, he won't. He won't. He might not see Vaught Hemingway the following week, where I'm assuming we're going to give him an L at Ole Miss. I know I am.
Yes, 100%. And we'll get there. We just for our listeners, we'll go one a week each Thursday or Friday moving forward, breaking down football over under prop bets and whatever else catches our eye. But we go alphabetically, so Ole Miss is much later in the summer.
Mm-hmm. Now this one, I have not done any Memphis research, so I don't know what Memphis has got coming back. But if if they have their normal team, this is not a layup at the venue that is now called Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, formerly known as just the Liberty Bowl. So this is not a layup at all. Arkansas at Memphis, but I mean, I'm just going to give them a W because I haven't done my homework on Memphis, and I'm just going to say dub.
Did the dog eat your homework, Brian?
No, no, but I
The
haven't done my homework on Memphis though.
well, I'll tell you this, man. The one thing that jumps out over here, one, there'll be a ton of Arkansas fans in Memphis. Ton.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Two, I hope, and it's been, I don't know, probably at least a decade since I've been there. I hope the Bankety Bank, Phillips Head Screwdriver, Mapco Convenience Station, Liberty Stadium, or whatever else is on the nameplate, I hope they've made some renovations because at one time Liberty Bowl was the biggest crap hole I'd ever been to.
Yeah, I've driven past it a number of times. I've never been there. I
You
don't
might
know.
have got shot at driving past it.
Right, right, right. So we're giving them a W, and they will have a 3-1 start just like last year, and it'll be a monster game in Fayetteville as the Notre Dame Fighting Irish come into town. Why am I blanking on who Notre Dame's quarterback's going to be this year? Do you know?
I'm blanking on it too, but I'll look it up. You keep talking.
Yeah.
Man, Marcus Freeman's good at what he does.
Yeah, I know, and I'm almost not even caring who their quarterback is because I'm giving Notre Dame a dub, although it won't be a layup in Fayetteville, but I am giving Notre Dame a dub there. Did you find that quarterback?
Is it if I say it, are you gonna know it? Because it looks like the first C.J. Carr or Kevin Minchie, Kenny Minchie.
Is CJ Carr a transfer from Michigan? I want to say. Here, I can
Oh,
get that out of my magazine here. Um, let's see, Michigan. I hear you, Bo Jackson.
yeah,
Okay,
man.
CJ Carr. I don't think is a transfer from Michigan.
And Steve Angeli entered the transfer portal.
Okay. Well, we think Notre Dame's going to win regardless, but it might be quarterback advantage to Arkansas. So it won't be easy for the Irish, but I think they will come into SEC country and get a W. And the Hogs will fall to 3-2 going into their open date, but it's not an advantageous open date because Tennessee also has an open date. And so the open dates are a wash before Arkansas goes to Neyland October 11th, and I have the Vols winning that and the Hogs dropping to 3-3.
I completely agree.
Yep.
I mean, I think Tennessee's just going to be more of a complete team, and it could be the second consecutive loss when you've got the edge at quarterback because Tennessee's turned into Joey Aguilar after all of the Nico gate.
Right. Right. Okay. The 10-year contract to play at Jerry World has expired, and A&M will be coming to Fayetteville the following week. And I mean, that's just a toss-up game to me. And why am I'm shooting a blank on who A&M's quarterback is going to be?
No, it's the sophomore. Where's number one? Runs around.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, the one who lit the Gators up last year.
Yes.
That guy.
Marcel
Gotcha.
Harris, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
Marcel Reed.
Yes, Marcel Reed. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I don't know, man. That's a toss-up game. I'm gonna have to come back to this one.
I think A&M's better, and I know it's on the road, but if they're 3-3 heading to the home stretch, home is not necessarily where you want to be because there's going to be a whole lot of hogs with their feelings slaughtered.
Well, so that game with A&M starts a 3 games in 3 weeks at home that leads into the open date. So if this 3-game homestand goes awry, this could be pink slip time for Pittman, who I think we all like. But that's just
He's a wonderful
reality.
dude.
Yeah.
And he's a great offensive line coach.
Yes. Yes, he is. So then it's Auburn and then it's Mississippi State. So I'm going to give them the Mississippi State one. Maybe they could steal a split with A&M and Auburn. I don't think you like that to happen.
Well, I mean, I think this is one of the hard things about trying to handicap this, especially this far out. I mean, we're still in the month of May. I know Arkansas fans don't want to split there, but
No.
I mean, hey, Auburn at Arkansas, October 25th of 2025 could be, you know how like Fox has the big noon kickoff and ABC and ESPN has college game day. And then ABC has like the Saturday night SEC game. If coachinghotseat.com had its weekly game, they'd be sending their staff to Auburn, Arkansas.
Right? Yes, they would. Yes, they would. You know how we could do it a little differently? Or at least I can. So that 3-game homestand, and then they go at LSU and at Texas, where we know we're going to have them taking L's. And then
Right.
there's Missouri at home in the regular season finale. So we really could just grade, do they steal one out of the 3 at home against Missouri, Auburn, and A&M? I'm going to say they get at least one of those.
Okay,
So,
I agree with that, but I don't. But you're also looking at by Missouri, there's a real chance that they got no idea who's doing what on the sidelines.
right. That is true.
But okay, so let's give them Mississippi State a dunk. They've got 4 dunks in our eyes, right?
Alabama A&M, Arkansas State,
Memphis, and Miss State.
I don't know that Memphis is going to be a dunk, but I mean, we'll say it's a win.
Okay, so that's 4 you feel pretty good about. What'd you say the total was? 6.5?
5.5.
Okay.
So I'm going to say they go 5 and 7, and it's a slight lean to the under.
It is, but I think I like all 3 of the teams we've covered before this more than I like Arkansas.
Oh yeah, of course.
In terms, and I'm not saying.
You mean the bet? The bet
over under on win totals.
Got you. I do want to point out before they play at LSU, it is a rest. They have an open date, and LSU doesn't. In fact, LSU plays at Bama the week before. It's not going to matter, I don't believe. But I'll point it out nonetheless. They do have rest advantage, but then they're in a back-to-back road spot at Texas, which could get ugly. Old school Southwest Conference rivalry. Yeah, I'm thinking 5 and 7 for the Razorbacks. So if they're going to get to 6, the games they're going to have to steal is Auburn and or A&M at home. That's
well, and then Missouri. I mean, you're going to get to 6. You got to take 2 of 3 at home from the Aggies, the Auburn Tigers, and the Missouri Tigers.
I have them beating Missouri, and that still gets them 5 and 7. I have their wins: okay. Missouri, Miss State, Memphis number 3, Ark State, and Alabama A&M.
Well, then you and I are in the same boat. I mean, I just was saying you got to take 2 of 3 to get north of 5.5 of those 3 home games.
Right.